So I know I haven't posted any videos for quite a while now. I'm a little sick right now. I got the cold or the flu, but so so my throat's itchy and dry. But I've been working now, same company for just a little bit over a year now. Just a little bit over a week ago was my first full year of working. So it feels amazing. I haven't had any panic attacks for a little bit over a year, maybe like a year and a half, almost 2 years. I'm not too sure. I I try not to remember the last time I had a panic attack because for me, the best thing for me to do, including yourself, like once you no longer have panic attack, let's say you don't have it for a week, 2 weeks, whatever. Try not to remember. Try not to think about like, oh, how come I haven't had a panic attack for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and because the more you remember, the more you're feeding your mind that, oh, that's all I know is panic attack. So part of my recovery from having panic attacks, being housebound, is going out every day. No matter what time it is, if it's raining, it's cold, it's hot, it's whatever. I have to retrain my brain that I have to get through this. I have to get through this fear that I allow to overcome my mind. The fear of leaving the house, because no matter where you are, you're gonna have a panic attack. For myself including, I know many of others. We had our panic attacks. Could be at school, at work, while driving, taking the bus, wherever it is, and then we allow ourselves to say, oh my God, I'm going to have a panic attack if I'm at this place. So once you have a panic attack at one place and then you have another one somewhere else, and then you're going to be like, well, I don't get them at home. I feel safer at home because I won't embarrass myself. I can run to my bed. Then you're going to be limited from being able to go outside to just being in your house. Because I remember there was a point in time where I was still able to go to work, but it was hard. And then little by little, I didn't go to work. And after that, the anxiety, the panic took over, and I quit my job. I could still walk around my house, but I was struggling. I couldn't even go to the kitchen. I felt dizzy in the kitchen, walking down my hallway, because my hallway is narrow. I always feel like everything's like tilting to the left, to the right. I felt like I was walking down the stairs, like getting off the escalator or an elevator. No matter what I did, even when I'm just standing still, I felt like I was always moving, and that itself, it creates that panic within me. And when I took a shower, I had vertigo, and everything was leaning towards one side. So I started getting scared going to the bathroom. I struggled taking a bath. I would only take a shower if someone was home. I wouldn't even leave my door. I wouldn't even lock the door. I would close it, and I would even have my ex wait outside of the bathroom or even inside, because that's how scared I was. And as embarrassing as it is to mention that, but that's how bad I got, and I came to the point that and one day I said, what, I'm going to just take a shower. And it was a nightmare, but little by little, the more I did it, the more I retrained my brain. It's like, okay, what was so hard about taking a shower by myself? I did it before. I didn't have a panic attacks, when I never had depression, when I never had anxiety. What made it harder for me to take a shower then compared to when I was when I never had anxiety? So the more I work on it, the less and less anxiety I felt, the less and less symptoms came up. How some of the symptoms took decrease. What I mean by decrease, I wouldn't feel as dizzy, I wouldn't fear as much, I wouldn't feel all these little symptoms. The other thing I did to get over my anxiety, the depression part, was whatever was in my mind, the depression, like, oh, I'm not gonna leave the house. What do? I ignore those thoughts. I left the house, because when you let those thoughts get to you, you're just feeding your mind. That's all I know is the negative thoughts, stuff like that, you know. And for me, that's the worst thing that you can do. Sure, the symptoms and stuff are not going to be easy to overcome. You know, everyone has their worst symptoms. You know, I had all the symptoms, plus maybe some that some other people might not have. You might not have something that I have, and you might have something I don't have, you know, vice versa. How you might feel some symptoms more than I do. I might feel a symptom that you don't feel, you know, things like that. So that's why it's sometimes better to talk about it, you know, but at the same time, you have to realize that if you went to a doctor, you know, if you have like 2 or 3 different opinions, and they all say it's because of anxiety, nothing else, you have to take their words for it, because you have to realize when you didn't have panic attacks, you probably felt dizzy, you probably had stomach flu, your body probably felt ache and pain, you probably felt lightheaded, you probably feel like upset stomach, you know, blurry vision and things like that. You couldn't sleep, you felt sick, you know. But the difference between when you felt those way and when you didn't have a panic attack is because you didn't think you were going to die, because when you blew your nose hurt. When you woke up, your body was aching. You didn't think that, oh my God, you're losing muscles and you can't move, you know, things like that. So for me, the best thing to do is ignore those symptoms, no matter how hard they feel. Try to do the things you have to do and the things you want to do. Just, you know, I can remember over a year ago when I started working, I was nervous about going to interviews. I was nervous about going to work again. I think my first month was hard on me, and then little by little I was like, okay, I didn't feel as bad, you know. I used to go to work, my stomach was upset, felt nauseated, you know, I was nervous, and that's not me, because when I didn't have panic attacks before, I was always talkative, you know. I wasn't shy. I didn't have like social anxiety, anything like that. So once I overcame these fears, these thoughts in my head, these whatever was going on in my mind, everything just felt different, you know. I can feel the pressure, the headaches, all these symptoms that I used to get, just feel like they left my body, you know. Do I still get body aches, headaches, a little bit here and there, but I think, you know, they don't bother me anymore. I still get a little dizzy, lightheaded, but I still can go to work. I can still drive. Matter of fact, this past Thanksgiving, I went to Reno with my parents and my daughter and my sister for 2 days, you know, and I drove all the way there, and it was snowing up in the hills, so it took us 6 hours, 6+ hours to drive there, right? So, and normally it should only take about 3.5, 4 hours. Getting back, it took over 9 hours, and you know, it didn't seem like a long drive. I felt fine, you know. The previous year, 2018, I also went to Reno, and you know, I only went there for a day, and you know, that the last time we went, it was a little bit harder. My dad drove all the way, but I didn't feel any anxiety. So for me to be able to go to places, go to work, you know, etc., it's an amazing feeling. And you know, if you're still struggling with leaving the house, I say just get up, leave the house. I'm not saying you have to get up right now and just walk out the door and you're gonna feel better right away. It took me months to overcome, like, you know, just for me, what I did was just wake up early, right, leave the house, go for a short walk, like, you know, from my house to my neighbor's house, and then later on in the day, I go a little bit farther. Each day, I went a little bit farther away. The more I did it, the more panic I feel, but at the same time, it also pushed me to go farther, because you know, when you're feeling panic attacks and you're housebound, the farther you go away, the more panic you feel, because you will have the urge to run back, because you might think, oh my God, I'm a block away from home, I need to run home. And by you allowing yourself to run home, that's teaching your brain that, oh my God, I need to run home. So when you feel that feeling, don't even stop. Just keep walking. You know, just walk far away. Don't look back. Just look forward. Keep your head up and just walk. I know it's easier said than done, but that's how I overcame my panic attacks. And the more I did that, the more I felt comfortable about living in my house. Sure, it took me a while to leave my house, but you know, sure, I felt panicky even more. But I was still able to keep going, and while you keep going, the easier it gets. And the easier it gets, you can realize one day, my God, I walked around my entire block. I walked 2 blocks, 3 blocks. I'm driving again. I'm going for bike rides. I'm going to the store again. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. You know, sure, you might feel panicky from time to time because you haven't been out. Your mind is like overwhelmed, like, oh my God, my surrounding looks bigger, it feels bigger than being stuck inside your own house, you know. And if you can't go to your backyard, your front yard, I say go to your front yard. You know, just get that feeling of being outdoors. Just remember, as soon as you leave your front door or your back door, you're outside your house. Even though right behind you, next to you, is still your house, you have to realize, as soon as you walk out your door, doesn't matter which door, you're outside. Take a look around, breathe in that air, and talk to your neighbors, you know, stuff like that. And you know, keep your mind away from your anxiety, things like that. Because the more you keep your mind off of something that bothers you, the easier it gets. And one day, you know it, you'll feel that freedom of being able to leave your house. You'll feel less anxiety. You won't feel depression. All those little things, well, I should say those big things, but all those things that bother you, those things that cripple your mind, body, from living your life how you want to live it. And instead of being fearful, you can leave your house and, you know, maybe get a job again, go to work, go to school, whatever you want to do. You can get back to doing those things. And you know, here I am, sitting in my car. I didn't go to work because I'm sick, but about to go and get some cough drops or something. I mean, whatever. But you know, for me to be able to go to the mall, go places, go to the beach. I even went to San Francisco, where I used to live. San Francisco is about an hour away. I took my daughter, her boyfriend, my niece, and my nephew. I drove there, took the light rail there to downtown, and just show them the area that I used to hang around when I was their age, and stuff. And I even showed them how I used to get around from one place to another. And it's not by driving, it's by taking the light rail that goes the train. And you know, it felt amazing just to go there. I mean, I've been going there last year as well, you know. And for me to be able to go to places that I thought I was never going to be able to go to is an amazing feeling. And you know, the more you do it, the easier it gets. But like I mentioned, sometimes it might feel harder, sometimes you can do it, sometimes you can't. But as long as you keep doing it and forget about those times that you went and you only stayed for 5 minutes, and those times that you went and you stayed for 15-20 minutes, those are the times you remember. So like I said, just don't bring yourself down, because the more you bring yourself down, the more depression you feel. The more you feel depressed, the more anxiety you feel and stuff like that. But you know, I'm about to go make another video about, you know, my symptoms and so on. But as far as I'm doing great. You know, still working, still leaving my house every day, and you know, just living the life I used to. And even when I'm sick, my body aches, I'm dizzy and whatever, I'm still going to go out and do the things that I want to